This is All Things Nerd Production.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Kobolds in the Basement podcast. My name is Chad Hillson. I will be your game master tonight. We are joined with Dave Morris.
Wearing a frown because my world's upside down. Caster Flamebeard.
Schaloan Dysland.
Playing as Luminora.
And Steven Dysland.
Beware, when you least expect it, I'll be there. Valerian.
Fantastic. So let's get into it. This is Kobolds in the Basement.
Cue intro music.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, Cass's intro is so good. World upside down, quite literally seems like it is. That was great. Loved that wholeheartedly.
All right. So before we get started on this episode, let's do a quick recap of what just happened. As the party was thrown through this portal, and unfortunately, Linux got sucked back into the portal before it collapsed, but not before Valerian gave him a playful middle finger. Linux looked scared, so that's his last memory of you. The party sets out to explore this new uncharted territory, where it looks very similar to Cass's recollection of what Sire looked like before the morning. During the last war. However, it looks a little inverted. What used to be deep caverns now seem to be vast mountains. All of the moons and the sun are in the sky at once with a deep, dark red, grayish overcast flooding the lands. As they start making their way south, trying to find a main road, they come across a young tiefling boy in the woods named Tevin, who is equally scared and eager to show that he's not a bad person, because he was raised to believe that, coming from some sort of demon or devilish descent, that he must inherently be bad. As they made their travels along, learning a little bit more about the world and landscape that they find themselves in, the party was ambushed by some bandits and a bugbear. That was not Linux. Throughout the fight, they decided not to kill the bugbear, but instead render him unconscious so that they could talk to him as he came to, only to learn that he was sold into slavery as a younger man, but means them no harm. They set him free to live out his days doing the best he can, and they're still in the middle of this opening in the woods, and that's where we are now. So, here you all are. The bugbear has run off, and you are all standing there. A couple of you have taken a couple of hits. Tevin is definitely bleeding, not feeling the best, but he's not close to death or anything like that. Closer to death than he was earlier. But what are you wanting to do?
You gonna be okay, kid?
Yeah. Give me just a second. And as he says that, he's going to cast Cure Wounds on himself, giving him just a little bit more health for giving himself 8 HP of health back. That's a little bit better. That was scary. Do you guys do that a lot? Like, fight people and kill people?
More than I'd like to, but yeah.
It's kind of an art form, but yes.
Do you get scared still?
Sometimes.
Not after as many years as I've been doing it.
So
I take off my mask. Yes, actually. Terrified, even.
So, does it get better? I know I didn't actually kill any of them, but I wanted to. Is that bad?
Did you want to kill them because you just wanted to kill them, or did you want to kill them so they wouldn't hurt you?
Um, well, I was scared because they were hurting me, but you guys have been so nice. I didn't want them to hurt you.
Yeah, then you're fine. And as for your other question, it gets easier to control the fear. Doesn't mean it goes away.
Okay.
But I think we should probably continue on our way south towards that village. Hopefully, we can get some more answers of where or when the hell we are. Because
Okay.
384 days or years since the sky went black, but we have no clue how many years after we left that is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. We just keep going this way. We have to do a little bit of climbing, I think, up those stone stairs, to get to more of a path.
All right, I'll go up. So I'm gonna just climb up. Need anything or?
Wait, is that
Are you taking your time? Are you, because there's looks kind of like very steep stairs and or vines right next to it, and then there's just like a wall. It's probably about 8 feet tall.
Nah, I'm just using the vines.
Okay. If you're taking your time, give me an athletics check with advantage.
23.
Yeah, you get up just fine. Tevin is just gonna take more of like the stone ladder stairs. You get to the top, and it just leads to. It looks like kind of like a dark cavern, but you can still see the sky above. The trees have kind of opened up above you, so you can still see the sky. We're not that in this sort of lighting you can really tell what time of day it is, but based on how long you've been awake and things like that, we're looking at like mid-afternoon. Does you just want to push on? Does anyone want to take like a rest? I can't really tell right away who needs any sort of healing, or anything like that.
Kevin's the worst.
No.
Is this just a random cat here? Just like happens to be on the map.
Yeah, that just happens to be on the map. I didn't even
Okay.
notice that until you pointed it out.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I'm only down 4 HP. I'm fine.
I'm Rice is rain. Let's go. Does Sloan do you want to get one of your? I mean, we could take a rest to get one of your wild shape back. I think you have what, 2? I think I got what, 1 left,
I
think.
have, yeah, Luminora has 2.
I mean, you could take like a short rest if you wanted to.
It's up to you, Luminora.
If we did take a short rest, would that help Tevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a short rest.
All right.
Okay, so he's going to just use 1 hit dice.
Can someone remind me again how oh wait, I see short rest now. Oh, I never knew that was on my character sheet.
Yep.
With the oh, I found it. Sorry. I asked the question, then I find it. Okay.
Nice. All right. So, you get to the top of this little ledge. You rest for a little bit, catch your breath, and then you keep moving on. As you start making your way in, like I said, it's kind of like a cavern with some cliffs that are they're not super tall, maybe 15 to 20 feet, depending on where you're at in the cavern, up above you.
None of this stuff makes sense to me. None of this was here when I knew Sire, but I never went into the Mournland, so everything I knew said it was much different than this.
Yeah, so as you start making your way through, I should have that pulled up. My bad. Okay. So you guys did a short rest. So as you're navigating your way through, is there anything that you're looking for? Any sort of conversation that you're trying to have? Anything like that?
I'm just looking around, making sure there's no more bandits or anybody else or anything looking to ambush us.
Yeah, I'm probably sending J. Edgar out to kind of scout ahead a little bit.
Okay. Both of you give me perception checks. Or give me a perception check for J. Edgar.
15.
15. Okay.
Assuming he shares my perception.
I think his might be higher.
No, yeah, he has a +3, so that'd be a 16.
16. Okay. Cass, since
Well, his
you're
pay as
also,
passive is 13, so.
as you're looking, are you also?
Yeah. Just a 13.
Okay. So both with a 13 and a 16, up on top of the caverns, you do see shadows moving. You can't really tell with a 13 or a 16 if it's an enemy or if it's just wildlife scampering around or anything like that. If you want to investigate further, you can give me a survival check. It's going to be a DC 17.
I am proficient in survival.
I am not.
So is
That is
Tevin.
a 17.
That's all you needed. Okay. So with that, you notice that the shadows that are scampering along the top of these short cliffs are following you.
We're not alone.
Oh. So what do we do?
No. We keep an eye out, make sure that they don't get the jump on us. I'll take the lead. I'm the toughest nut to crack here.
You certainly are not.
Says the guy who wears a mask when he has to fight.
I think it's a rather fine fashion statement, but
I didn't say it was a good or bad mask. I just said you're the one who has to wear it when you fight.
I think it's cool.
say he agrees. I just hold out a fist, to fist bump. Tevin.
He pulls back at first, thinking that you were gonna punch him, and then he just kind of reaches out and just kind of grabs your fist and shakes it a little bit. Oh, okay.
Luminara, you got any thoughts about all this different, for lack of a better term, different world we're in now? You seem more in tune with nature than I'll ever be, so.
Oh my gosh, you know what I just thought about? Oh wait, that doesn't help me. Never mind. I was gonna say a nature check or something, but I'm surprisingly not good at nature. Anyway.
Yeah, for some reason it's an intelligence skill.
Yeah, I was like, oh, now that he says that. No, I'm super confused. It almost seems like an underworld to me.
Yeah, I had that thought at first too, but the whole moons and stuff in the sky with a sky above is throwing me off. I mean, unless it's just some kind of big ass spell or something that's making it look this way, but I don't know why anybody would want to, unless they just don't like sunlight.
You you think that the sky is magic?
I
Like
think
someone put a spell on it?
I think it's possible.
So that's not what the sky actually looks like?
No, normally it's a much brighter hue of blue, or depending on the time of day, red or orange or yellow, but mostly blue.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I probably took it for granted, but I also spent a long time without getting to see it, so maybe I don't do that anymore. This almost reminds me of my time on the Astral Sea.
Quick question, like on the sideline, in the mortal lands or whatever, how many? Because there's 12 moons here, right?
Hmm?
How many are there, like normally before the portal?
There are normally 12 moons of Eberron,
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay, sounds good. Never mind.
with the legend being that there was a 13th at one time.
Okay.
All right. I need everyone to give me one more perception check.
If I get advantage with, can Jad, you give me the help?
I'll allow it.
16.
13.
24.
Nice.
With a 16 and a 24? Yes, I should also. Cool. Okay. And then Tevin rolled an 18. So anyone who rolled above a 15, you start to hear some snarls and rocks moving above you and to both sides of you. And you hear a very faint, almost like a goat's bleh. You know, like the meh. And then, suddenly, a handful of these fuckers jump down in front of you, and I need everyone to roll initiative. You see, the tokens are tigers, but you see 2 mountain lions, and then what is called a mountain strider. It's basically like a giant goat man. Jump down in front of you.
You said initiative?
Yep. Everyone needs to roll initiative.
I got a 4.
I got a 2.
20.
One of the major downsides of not having a high dex.
Oh, son of a bitch.
You okay?
Yep, I just forgot to clear everything from last time.
Not fighting bandits.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so, you know, as these 2 mountain lions jump down in this mountain strider, it is Valerian's turn.
They really? Okay. Fair enough. I'm gonna move to kind of get some sort of cover, or maybe concealment behind the tip of this rock formation, and then Edgar. Can I hide?
Yeah,
I'd like
give me
to,
a stealth check first. If you're with a 10, that is not going to be enough.
Fire enough. Okay. I'm going to just take a shot at Tigger, or the mountain lion.
All right.
23 to hit
That definitely hits
for 4.
for 4. All right. You just, I'm assuming just the first one.
Yeah, I tried to use my bonus action to. Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, the first closest tiger or
Okay.
lion.
Cool. All right.
Cautiously steady.
So then that is going to go to the mountain lions. The first one is going to run up on Cass and is going to make a bite attack. 20 to hit.
You know what? I will cast shield.
Okay. What does that boost your AC to? Is it
25.
boosted by 5? Son of a bitch. Yep. So then 20 doesn't hit, so it just clamps down.
Like the teeth come in, and all of a sudden this like big, like almost like flaming wings just come over and block and shield.
Yeah, and it almost forces its mouth back open as it takes a step back. And then the second one is it's just gonna run up, but is not quite close enough to hit anyone.
It could dash and move up further, just not be able.
Yeah, but then it can't attack.
Well, can't attack now either.
That's fair. Yeah, it's just gonna kind of run into the middle. And Jagger is probably just flying over him a little bit. And then from there, then it's going to go to the goat man. Standing nice and tall, lets out just a loud bleh. And it's just going to run up to the side. It's also going to use its dash action, actually, and still kind of keep its distance, but still get past the front. So then that will be Tevin, who remembers everything that happened last time, is immediately a little bit scared, but will take a few steps back, cast Hunter's Mark on the goat person, and is going to shoot with his light crossbow. With a 22 to hit. And then there's 6 piercing with his Hunter's Mark on Senor Goatman. And then from there it's going to be Luminora.
Okay.
Oh, also the one mountain lion that ran up to the middle there is within your Halo spores. And rolls a 13, so it does take 4 damage.
Perfect. I was literally about to say Halo Spores.
I'm learning.
So am I. I am going to the sheet here. I'm gonna ice knife Mountain Strider man, well, goat man to the left of me.
Okay.
Level 1. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh.
With a nat 1, that misses.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it became a 7, but...
He still makes his dex save.
Is it a dex save?
This is for the
Oh,
second.
because it still explodes.
Uh-huh.
It misses, okay. And that's based on your...
Or DC 14.
DC, so that was a 9. So, definitely fails that, so...
2d6.
Yeah, roll 2d6.
So,
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
just there you go. So 8.
Fuck, bud. So as you throw the ice knife, it hits the ground kind of next to him, but it still explodes and the ice shards cut into his leg and inside as he just and just blez out.
Almost sounds sad.
I don't know. Is that how you say that? Bleh?
Like bleat, I think.
Bleat. Oh. That sounds better. It sounds less like vomit. Or the act of vomiting. Let's put it that way. And then, Luminara, are you going to move at all or anything like that? Otherwise, it will be Cass's turn.
Push. Yeah, I will. I'll move right here. Oh, no, wait, sorry.
Where are you moving to? Sorry.
To the right of this lion, right in front of
Okay.
Lumen.
Okay, perfect. So then, Cass, that's you.
All right. Well, that changed my strategy slightly. I'm going to take a step over here. That guy can take his attack of opportunity if he wants.
You will just swings a claw. 14 misses. I mean, you still have shield going anyway, so.
No, it ends at the start of my turn.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, 14 misses.
Yep, but now I am flanking his other lion. And here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And I'm going to attack with my quarterstaff. That is only an 8, even with advantage. Wow, my dice are not happy tonight.
Yeah, eight misses.
Yep, and then bonus action attack. That is a 17.
17 does hit, so roll that damage.
That is 7.
7. Okay, perfect. All right, and that's going to go back up to Valerian.
Valerian. Okay. J. Edgar is going to. I don't know what the right word is yet. Pester this other mountain lion.
Okay.
And then Valerian. Sorry. There's the button. Sorry. I don't know how you guys navigate this thing so easily. I'm going to run in and hit him with my dagger. Cast Booming Blade.
You have a rapier?
Fucking nat 20, bud.
Double nat 20s.
2 episodes in a row. That's what's up.
Ayo. Oh wait, that is the. Oh, that sucks.
Well, that's only if he moves for thunder damage, so. But it's your normal weapon damage doubled plus the sneak attack doubled.
There we go, 6. So 12 plus.
Well, you rolled a 3 on the die, so doubled would be 6, plus another 3 for your dex would be 9.
9. Okay.
Plus,
This is why you're here. This is why you're here.
and then 46 sneak attack.
10. So 19.
Yep.
What happened?
Okay. And then I'm going to cunning action disengage, and J. Edgar's gonna just fly on by.
Well, J. Edgar doesn't even have to use cunning net. Oh,
No, he just
you ran up and used your dagger. My bad.
Yep.
It's like J. Edgar doesn't have to use your cunning action because.
And once I jump back, I say, "Bad kitty."
Was not happy with you. But this one is quite surrounded because it is now the mountain lion's turns.
Oh, hey, Chad.
Yes.
I know that was on this one.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry, I could have clarified that better. That way, if he tries to go up and anyway, yeah.
So the mountain lion that is surrounded by Cass and Luminora is going to take a bite attack at Luminora. 23 to hit
It hits.
for 7.
Okay.
And then the other mountain lion that Valerian just shot is going to run up and also take a bite attack for 23 to hit.
So it takes 1d8 thunder damage for moving from the booming blade.
Oh, that's right. I was still thinking that was on the other one, so 1d8. Please roll that, Valerian.
5.
So it's definitely hurt, but it runs up 23 to hit
It does hit.
for 9 damage. And what it does is as it runs up, it turns its head like it's biting a taco and grabs you by the neck as it bites.
I'm going to use my reaction since it moved within 5 feet of me to smack that thing with my staff.
Okay.
That is only a 10 to hit. That probably doesn't.
10 does not hit.
I am not rolling though.
So as it rushes past you, you turn and swing, but it misses. Lunges at Valerian, grabs him by the throat, clamps down. You see some blood squirt, and then it, drops him. And then that is going to be the goat man, who has seen you now attack 2 of his pets. Is going to start to charge at Cass there.
Bring it on, come on.
And use his ability called Charge, and then headbutt you. So it's a 20 to hit.
Yeah, I'll let him hit me. I'll
Okay.
burn through all my spells.
For 14 bludgeoning. All right, and then that is going to go back to Tevin, who is going to still has his hunter's mark. Now, remind me, because this dude's multi-classed. If he were to use a spell but still has his hunter's mark on it, does he get the bonus damage on a hit? Or is it only on a ranged, simple weapon?
It's on anything that has an attack roll.
Okay, cool. So then he's going to cast Guiding Bolt on the Goat Man. Only for an 8, so that misses. That's a bummer. So he holds up his hands, and just a flash of light just streaks out of his hands, but just overshoots the goat dude. And then that is Luminora's turn.
Halo spores to the mountain lion right in front of me.
That one was a pass, so no damage there.
Okay.
It was a 17 on the dice.
I am going to, with the mountain lion right in front of me, I am going to attack him with my scimitar. 24 to hit.
Yeah, that's a nat
natural
20,
one.
so yep, that hits.
Rolling for damage. 12.
12 damage. I mean, this mountain lion is hurt. It is being dropped off at Death's house. Not quite to the door yet, but it's starting to look very, very hurt.
Good. That'll be the end of my turn.
All right, then Cass.
I'm gonna swing my quarterstaff on the mountain lion that I have flanked with Luminora. Hey, that's a 23 to hit.
23 does it.
That is 8 damage.
With 8 damage, as you're swinging the quarterstaff, are you coming down on top, or are you coming up from below?
I'm coming just backhanding it right across the face.
Just straight sideways. As you do it, and the quarterstaff collides with this mountain lion's head, you hear a sickening crunch, and then it just falls over. Mouth still open, snarl almost just captured forever as its final moment as it drops.
I'm gonna turn over and go, I knew a goat was a lot prettier than you ever will be. And I'm gonna swing with the spear butt right at the goat guy. But that's only a 10.
That's a 10, so that misses.
Yeah, my dice do not like me tonight, or
It just
roll 20 doesn't.
leaks back at you, just meh.
Alright, so that's my action and bonus action.
All right, then that is back to Valerian.
I'm gonna disengage from Big Kitty and take, a few steps back, move back about 10 feet or so. Kind of clutching at my throat and my head a little bit. Jadri's gonna fly in and provide air support. And I'm gonna take a crossbow shot for 9.
9 misses.
And I'll quickly take my. No, I won't because I disengaged. So Jadri's gonna fly over back towards me, and that's it.
Righty. Then that is going to be the other mountain lion, Big Kitty. It has the taste for your blood, Valerian, so it doesn't understand that it's going to get an opportunity attack from Cass, but it is still going to charge towards you. So Cass, go ahead and roll a opportunity attack.
That is a 20 to hit.
That hits.
Where's my mouse cursor gone? There we go.
Oh, that's
8 bludgeon.
sports range.
What was that?
Oh.
Can I use my Halo Spores?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a wild animal. It's not smart. Let's put it that way. And it failed with a 7 on the dice.
Sweet.
So it takes another 4 damage, but then it is going to take another bite attack at Valerian. Right. With a 20 to hit.
Yeah, I guess it hits. If it has to.
Yeah, for 7 more, it just goes right back for the throat.
Jesus. Just low-key bleeding. Choking on my own blood at the moment.
This token not updating, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's okay. We'll figure it out later. And then that's going to go to the goat man, who is just right there next to you. So he's going to take his spear and use it two-handed on Cass. But that's even with, not that he had advantage, but he misses. He just swings.
I just put
Right.
that shield right in front of him.
Yeah, and it just clangs off the top of the shield and bounces. Alrighty. No problem, Valerian. What are you at for health?
11.
11. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the goat man swings. It bounces right off the top of the shield, bounces over your head. All of that. So then that's going to go back to Tevin, who still has his hunter's mark going, but had better luck with his crossbow. So he's going to aim at the goat man and shoot his crossbow for 16, which does hit. Not the strongest of strikes, though, so it only does 3 damage. It just kind of like clips his arm as he's swinging the spear over Cass's head.
That include his hunter's mark d6.
That does not include his hunter's mark d6. Thank you. For an additional 2 damage. So the goat man, I mean, he's looking hurt, but he's still pretty hardy. But then that is Luminora's turn.
So, can I use my Halo Spores even though I just used it? Or does I can't
because it's back to your turn. Yeah.
Okay. So Halo Spores.
You just won't be able to use it again until your next turn.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was a 15, so no damage.
Okay. And I will use my scimitar on this lion to my right.
All right.
20 to hit
A 20 hits.
and 8 slashing.
Yeah, so as you swing into it, you know, you're just swinging down, you catch it just as it's recoiling from having just bitten Valerian a second time, you catch it on the back of its neck, and your scimitar just cleaves partway down. You hear the crunch as you hit its neck bones and spine, and then you
Yep.
pull out your sword, and then it stands there for a second, kind of wobbling, and then it falls over. And that is back to Cass.
All right, good boy. Just you and me now.
Wah.
That is only a 13.
A 13 just hits. It doesn't have a lot of armor on its rags and stuff like that. So,
Well, that is 6 bludgeoning.
all right, for 6 damage.
And then I'll swing with the offhand, or the staff butt. That is a 22 to hit.
That definitely hits.
For another 7.
For another 7. This is looking really hurt. You know, as it's bleaking, you know, some blood is gurgling out of its mouth as it's just filled with rage. And then that goes up to Valerian. That's your turn.
2 words. Sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
13.
13 hits.
Oh yeah. For I know I don't have to, but I'm going to. 14 damage.
Yeah, finish him.
A goat. He's fighting Cass, and like he goes to make that little meh sound again, and it just time one right nicely. That it just goes right into his little goat mouth, and then like as he falls back, he just kind of lets out like a blood gurgled kind of muffled like and dies.
Just a meh. Falls back and just.
And then can I don't have a song. Could I want one of his horns. Actually, I want both of his horns.
You want both of his horns?
I do. Desperately.
Give me a survival check. Say 16 will get you one. A nat 20, you can get both.
A 19.
Very close. Yeah, you're
Natural
able to
19.
take off one of the horns.
Wait, oh damn. Alright, that works. I walk over to Tevin and I like hold the horn up to my head. I'm like,
Aw.
I wish I had ears.
He,
Or oh my god. I wish I had horns.
he just kind of laughs and is like, "You could pull it off." All right.
Too kind, sir. Too kind.
Well, what the heck were those things? I don't know if I've ever seen a creature like that before.
Well,
Goat man?
that's the first time I've ever seen one in person, but people have talked about all kinds of big animal people like that. You know, some goats, some like bear people, I guess, where they kind of look like bears, but they're, you know, they don't have to walk on all fours all the time.
I guess Corvair's gotten a lot more interesting since we've been gone. If they still call this continent Corvair.
Yeah, I've never heard that before. That's where you're from?
That's where we're on Corvair right now. Sire is just a small, or was just a small piece of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was when we left. There were many nations. We're in right now what used to be called Sire, or you're calling it Sire again. For us, it was the Mournland, and then there was other nations around it in the land around Sire. Guessing you haven't traveled outside of it, Sire, have you?
No, when I met you, that's the furthest from home I've ever been.
First time for everything, and you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I
Best-
guess.
Best keep going. Gets ourselves that town.
Forward and onward we go.
Yeah, that goat guy could actually put up a decent fight.
Okay, so,
Forgot what it felt like to get hit.
Yeah, well, those cats were fast. Knock you in, knock you down to the ground or something.
Tevin like stops for a second and looks back at Valerian. And is like, "Are you doing a voice?" Sorry for the interruption, dear heroes, but I just have to ask. Are you like me and my friends, where your food tends to be lacking just a little something extra? If you are, then look no further than Crybaby Craig's hot sauce to fix all of your spicy and saucy needs. Because this pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce will go on practically anything. It was started by Craig himself in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, and this sauce has become a staple of all hot sauces and flavor enhancers across the lands for many, many moons. If you don't believe me, go and check out crybabycraigs.com and order yours today to, quite frankly, just better your life. Or at least your taste buds. But be sure to let them know that we sent you and enjoy the best damn hot sauce there is. Now, let's get back to the show.
What?
What you used to have like a funny voice. It was what are you trying to sound different now?
I already told you it's just my natural. Wait. Spit up some blood. Well, that's interesting.
Are you okay?
Well, my throat kind of hurts, but yeah, I'm fine.
Alrighty then.
Kevin's gonna run up to you and cast Cure Wounds. Only for 2 HP. But it's enough to stop the bleeding, I guess. Does that feel better?
Bless you, my boy.
Okay, you still sound different, but that... as long as you're okay.
Doesn't feel different.
Okay, so you make your way onward. We're just gonna switch maps just for a little bit of theater of mind here. You know, as you're traveling along, you know, is there anything that you're wanting to do? Conversations, anything like that you want to do as you're making your way? Tevin tells you, you know, we're probably still a couple of hours away from that village I was telling you about, but we should be there, you know, before bedtime.
One thing I was gonna wonder is how do you guys know when it's time to get up and when it's time to go to bed?
I mean, it gets a little bit darker, you know, at around bedtime. But I guess you just get used to it. I mean, that to me it seems dark, but thinking about it, like, it doesn't get that much darker.
Yeah, it's unsettling to me. I'm used to day and night being a lot different looking.
It's not blue in the sky at night like it is in day, like you were telling me about.
No, when the sun is down, the sky usually turns almost black. And when there's no clouds or anything, you can see stars where the moon's clear and bright.
You have like black skies?
Yeah, at night when the sun is down and it would go really dark, the sky would be pretty much black except for the moonlight.
Is that scary? With like a black sky? Like, how do you see?
I can kind of see in the dark anyway, but people would light torches or other means to provide light. They had something called cold fire. I don't know if that still exists. It's basically like a flame that always gives off light but no heat.
Oh, yeah, we have that. We use that for like lighting inside, but
Yeah,
we don't just use it at night
yeah,
because it doesn't get that bright as you can see. This is kind of normal light.
yeah. Well, without when the sun would actually go down and the sky would change, you would need some other form of light to see if you can't see in the dark on your own. Some people
Sounds
use torches, some people use cold fire, others could cast certain spells.
I mean, we do that here, but it's interesting that you would do that just because the outside changes. Like we use those sorts of things like inside because we don't get if there's a roof or no windows in a room, we have to do that here still. So maybe it's not that maybe not that different.
Maybe. You doing okay back there, Valerian?
I'm fine.
Yeah, hopefully by morning that thing will patch itself up. We just need to get ourselves to some places with some shelter and get a good night's rest.
I like cats and all, but that was a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, you doing okay, Luminora?
Doing good. Little curious about Valerian's voice there.
Uh, Cats gave him a little love bite on the neck, I think.
Well, you try taking a mountain lion to the throat and see if your voice sounds the same.
I think mine would.
All right. So as over the course of a couple of hours, you start coming to the outskirts of a village. There's it almost like statues of people, sprawled out across the ground, where it looks like almost like if a body had fallen, like a dead body, but it's now been like petrified, like in stone. You see several lining the area as you
One,
make your way into this village.
Evan, is this normal? Are there normally these petrified people?
Uh, yeah, in most villages and towns, there's quite a bit. Sometimes it makes me sad because in school we learned that they were from the before times, and when the sky went dark, a lot of people that were hurt when the sky darkened, they turned to stone. But
Sounds like another morning.
That's ominous as fuck.
So these people were alive or died the day the sky went dark and then turned to stone.
yeah, that at least that's what we were told.
I want to look at their clothing on the statues to see if it's any of it has maybe distinct markings. Like maybe it might be older than he's thinking because maybe he just doesn't know. Like if it's got sire markings I might recognize.
Yeah.
See if these are from that time period or if they are older, like from the actual day of mourning.
Give me a history check, but with advantage.
That is only a 9.
So with a 9, you're not seeing any distinct patterns or markings or anything like that, but they don't look to be super old clothing. or anything that you wouldn't be like caught off guard seeing someone wear. Had you seen them nowadays, or even, back around that time, from when you were a kid?
This gives me a bad feeling and a bad theory that I hope isn't true.
What do you mean?
What if the sky went dark? The cloud of morning just expanded, and that's what's making the sky dark.
I mean, how would that happen? Because you said that happened a long time ago, but you're here now.
Well, we came here by some weird magical means and skipped a lot of years, but the cloud that was over Sire was there for over 350 years on it before we left. Nothing says it couldn't have stuck around, or something else couldn't have made it bigger, or somebody else tried to maybe get rid of it and this happened, or maybe somebody wanted this to happen. It's just a thought, because this petrified effect reminds me of stories I heard about the Mournland, where there'd just be people frozen in place from the day it happened.
Did you ever see that? That sounds really scary.
I never went into. I only went into the Mournland one time. That was right shortly before we disappeared, and we didn't encounter any towns like that. We did encounter some undead, but not a lot else.
Tevin just kind of like sits there, like really thinking about what you had just said, and just kind of looks around, because to him, like, seeing these like stone bodies all over is not uncommon.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
What is everyone doing as you're entering this town?
I
just
would
kind of-
want to ask Cass if he thinks. So I go up to Cass. Hey, Cass, question for you.
What's that?
Do you think we're in the past or in the future?
I think we're in the future. Tevin is mentioning about when the sky was still blue and there was distinct day and night as the long ago, or the before time. And so, as far as I know and you know, back from where we were, that was normal, and they're never heard of a period like this. So I think somehow he got pulled forward at least 354 years. And so something happened between when we disappeared and now. And somehow that portal in a way almost spared us from it, if it would have happened while we were still alive.
You think this may be linked to the sickness we have come across?
Maybe. I'm no physician, and I can't really study these bodies, but I still have a little bit of that black goo, in a vial here. Tevin, have you ever seen something like this?
Yeah. How did you get it in a bottle?
Oh, we took it off a floor in a place we found back before we came here. Where do you see it?
It runs from the trees into the sky. Like, how did you? It was coming out of the. Was it just sitting on the ground, or was it starting to go up to the sky?
It was just sitting on the ground. It was just somebody was making this stuff and putting it into the water supply on the west side of the east side of the Mournland shortly before we disappeared.
So, people were making that where you came from?
Yep.
This stuff shouldn't be natural, kid.
No, I think you're just making fun of me, man.
I would never do that.
Tevin just kind of laughs a little bit.
Right. Well, we must be going then, and keep on looking around. I can do it.
Tevin just laughs uncontrollably. Just, you guys are funny.
Why are you doing that?
Just making a point. So, is there like actual other people like in town, like obvious like businesses or homes or anything?
From this part of the village, it looks pretty abandoned. There's not a lot going on. But I know out here there's not a lot here. I think it's because even inside the buildings, out here there's more of these stone people, but there's an inn in tavern just down the road a little bit.
All right, let's make our way there. Get some rest, get some food. Get Valerian sounding like he normally does.
Okay. Yeah, it's just down the road here. All right.
I don't know, man. This seems like this is how I've been talking this whole time. But you could be right, my friend. I don't know.
It seems like what? I'm sorry, I genuinely did not understand what you said.
Seems like this is how I've been talking the whole time, but you might be right. I don't know.
You didn't talk. You didn't talk like that when I met you.
Yeah, you also didn't have that giant fang-shaped hole in your throat either.
This thing, and I like poke my finger into it a little bit.
Yeah, don't do that. It might get infected.
Gross. We need a medic.
All right.
Trying to like keep J. Edgar Hoover from like picking at like the dangly bits of skin.
Gross.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey, Tevin, are there any of those? You said this black stuff comes out of the trees and goes up to the sky. Any of those trees nearby?
And I mean, when I met you, there was a lot of those trees. That's why I thought it was weird that you were confused with how much of the rain you were hearing, but the ground wasn't that wet. It's because sometimes this black stuff it goes up. So you can usually hear it rustling in the leaves when it's raining. That would have been a failed perception check on your guys' part.
We probably need to go look at one of those trees in the near future. But if black liquid is going up from the trees into the sky, well, that would tell me that black stuff might be what's blocking out the sky. Might be forming some kind of bubble or dome over the continent or planet, for all I know.
You think that's what might have made the sky go dark?
Yeah. That's what it's looking like.
Oh. I was always told not to touch it.
I wouldn't recommend it. Most people probably could get sick from it. I think the people we saw who died from it was oozing out of their bodies, so they might have been poisoned or exposed to something. I'm a little more resistant to this kind of stuff than most, so. But have you ever seen anybody touch it?
Not anyone that I know personally, but there's rumors, and we were told about it in school, and my mom would say that if you touched it or got too much of it on you, that it would make you go crazy, and then it would cover your whole body, and you could get really sick, or sometimes you could die. it depends on how much you got on you, and if I mean there's stories, but I don't know if they're true. Of people trying to tell you about how they got it off of them, but then they would try and sell you stuff to protect you. But some of it smelled like cat piss, so I don't know if it was real.
Yeah. Sound like those people are just trying to take people's money. Those are the kind of people I like to smack upside the head with my staff. Maybe not hard enough to kill them, but just enough to teach them a lesson.
It would be funny to see.
Well, if we encounter any here, I might give you a demonstration.
So as you guys get to this tavern, there's a handful of people inside, you know, eating, having drinks, and it looks like any old tavern would, despite what the outside looks like in the strange land that you found yourselves in. Seems to be. So as you go into the tavern, the barkeep behind the bar just shouts over to you and says, sit anywhere you'd like. If you want anything, let me know. We've got some drinks. We've got some food. Just let me know.
Well, I think maybe some drinks, some food, a meal, and if you got any rooms for the night.
Yeah, we definitely have some rooms available. We just have two rooms available for the night. But they both have double beds in them, so you're more than welcome to split those. Yeah, they're 2 silver for the night.
Alright. Pull out, a gold piece and go, this work? And I, hold up the gold and toss it to them.
Yeah, with that I can bring out some food too, unless you want change.
Food, drinks, and then, round of food, round of ale. I don't know what they're drinking, but, and then, the 2 rooms.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll bring out some food. Is ale okay with everyone here? Otherwise, we do have some wine. It's not the best, but it's there. We have it.
I'll have some water.
I can get you some water. What was that, miss? What did you ask for?
Ale is perfect.
All right. Tevin kind of looks around sheepishly, and he's like, "Can I get an ale?" And the bartender's like, "Are you old enough?" And then kind of looks at the 3 of you.
I'm okay if he has one. I don't know if he's ever. Might be funny to see.
Of course he's old enough.
Well,
He's the slayer of bugbears and bandits.
not sure how much I believe that sentiment, but if he throws up, you guys can wash it. Yeah, so the innkeep brings over 2 keys for you, one for each room. Brings over, some stew and some bread and, basically like a turkey leg or, some sort of meat for you. Brings that all over, as well as 4 ales and a glass of water. And says, "Okay, thank you very much."
Thank you.
Cheers. As I start to drink the water, a bunch of it just kind of starts to pour out of the little hole in my throat.
Yeah, you might want to get that looked at.
I don't have any more spells, so I can't really do much to heal you, but They, you might be able. I don't know how good it would be, but they might have like a potion up at the bar.
Tevin, don't worry about it since we're gonna crash for the night.
Okay.
Walk over and put my hand on Valerian's shoulder, and then I will use lay on hands to heal him for another 5. There, that ought to patch it
A
up.
little throat, but feeling a lot better, thank you. And as you listen to me breathe, like my mouth is completely closed, but it sounds like I'm mouth breathing, just because the air is mostly going in and out of my throat.
Gross. Just an open trach wound.
That's all right. I got a little bruise here where that goat guy headbutt me. You'll be fine.
All right. How's everyone doing for HP?
I'm at 26.
I'm at 31, I think. Or wait.
Okay, cool. Well, you're
No more.
you're eating your meal, having some ale. Tevin is sipping it slowly, clearly trying to decide if he likes the bitterness or not. I need 2 of you to give me a perception check. I don't care which 2 it is. Luminora, you get advantage.
21.
I got 21.
Oh, I got 19. 19.
21 and 19. Okay, fantastic. You know, as you're sitting around eating a nice hot meal, having a cold ale, you almost forget, not entirely, but it doesn't feel like you're in a foreign place. This feels like a normal tavern, restaurant, whatever. But while you're eating, Luminora and Valerian, you both hear what sounds like sludge emanating from outside the walls and windows and stuff like that. You know, not like rain, but almost like if you had like wet cement in a bucket and you're kind of like sloshing it back and forth.
I get up to go cautiously peek out the window.
Okay.
Yeah, if they point it out, then I will go look out a window.
Oh. Sounds like there's, I don't know, something weird sloshing or sludging around out there.
If you're looking out the windows, both give me a perception check. Another perception check.
15, unless I can have the help.
That is a nat 1.
Even if you were to have the help action, the window that you're looking out, you know, just you see some trees. There's really nothing there for you that you can really see. And then with a nat 1, I mean,
It's dark.
yeah, you look out the window and you're like, that's right. This doesn't look familiar outside.
Still sounds weird out there. Tevin, what is that sound?
That, and then he like freezes and his eyes go wide, and he goes, "Get away from the windows! Get away from the windows now!"
Immediately, I get away from the window.
I take like 1 step back, maybe 2 to get right next to Luminora, and then raise my shield.
And then everyone needs to roll for initiative.
Well,
14.
19.
14. Because of my -1.
Royty. Sorry. Had to change the layers for a second. Okay, let me pull up the initiative.
It should have been an Oath of the Watchers, because then I would have gotten to add my proficiency bonus to my initiative when I got my aura.
Okay. So, as you guys take a step back from the windows, and Tevin looks scared. He kind of stumbles out of his chair in between two tables over there, and you see from across the tavern these two black, sludgy, mud-looking monsters. One is, normal height, 5'6" to 5'8", fairly humanoid, just like sludge walking in, and then right behind him is like an 8-foot tall, just massive second black sludge monster. Comes walking in, busting through the door that was half open, just rips it off the hinges, and comes stepping in. And on that, the first sludge monster is going to be... They're not very fast.
Valerian's not on the initiative.
No, I'm not. I got a 19 though.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Don't mind the monster names. Okay. The first one, kind of makes its way in, sees you, and starts just charging and uses its dash action to kind of get to the middle of the room. And then that is going to be Valerian's turn.
Okay. Valerian's going to run up, and he's gonna jump over the bar and try to
Give me an
use the
acrobatics
hide
check.
action. So hide behind the bar.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check to see how smoothly you get over, because then they'll determine whether or not... Okay, cool. With a 19, yeah, then just give me a regular stealth check.
An 11.
With an 11... Fuck. Yeah, that's enough.
Dope.
These things are dumb and slow.
And then, Jacob, you're just gonna kind of just be unmenacingly just kind of floating around up there.
Okay. Are you going to take any attack? I know that by doing... Well, the hide would be your actual action, would it not? No, that'd be your bonus action.
You can bonus as a rogue.
Yeah, so do you want to take...
I think I could probably... So it was here, but... Oh, that's about as far as I'm going to get there. Now that would just... I mean, it would just put me at disadvantage, and then that would negate my hide, so...
Okay. So then that goes to Luminora.
They're made like mud or...
It's like a black sludge.
Oh, okay. I am going to ice knife. Actually, come on, work. Every time I click it, it's disappearing. Sorry.
I just imagine somebody made molasses out of a spit bottle.
That's
Um,
a gross image.
I am going to ice knife, level 2. Wait, what is the range on ice knife?
Probably at least 60 feet, but maybe 120, but I don't think so for ice knife.
60 feet.
Okay, so you can get the one closest to you with that.
Yep. So I'm gonna go for him. Even though I'm casting it as level 2, I just hit ice knife on my character sheet, correct?
It should pop up if you want to cast it as a higher level.
Yeah.
After you click on it.
Okay, I'll try just clicking on it. It does that. Sends it to the chat.
Well, casting at second level will just add an extra d6 to the cold damage of the explosion.
Okay. So
But a 23 hits.
okay, so should I just click, for damage?
Click
And then
for damage
roll.
and then roll another d6.
Yeah. So that's 18, and then 23.
Well, they get a dex save against the 14 cold damage.
Oh, you're right. So,
So I'm guessing they're not very dexterous with their being made of sludge.
nope, and it was a 3 on the dice, so even their +1 dex doesn't help. So yeah, so that was 23. Yeah, 23.
Oh,
I mean, as
Very nice.
the ice knife goes into this first sludge monster and explodes with the cold damage, it looks like it's starting to like crystallize and looking very, very hurt. Anything else you want to do with your turn? Any movement or anything like that?
Yes. I am going to move up to the kind of the runner here in front of the front door inside the tavern.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
All right, then that will be Cass.
all right. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not much I can do right now, so I will just take the dodge action and say, "Bring it on!"
All right, then that's going to go to Tevin. Even though he's definitely scared, he's just going to move behind this other table to try and have a little bit of coverage. And I don't think there's anything that he can do at this point. He's just going to take a shot with his light crossbow. Because that's... but just misses. And then that will be the giant sludge monster, who is going to come in just a little ways, and he's going to basically, from his arm, as he brings it back, you start to see some of the sludge rush to where his hand should be, and it balls up, and he just hurls sludge at Luminora right there, but it is at disadvantage because of the range. But does a 17 hit?
It does hit.
Okay, so that will be for 5 bludgeoning. And until your next turn, you are blinded. So
Someone
the
loves
sludge hits you just square in the chest, kind of knocks the wind out of you. You stumble back, but it splashes onto your face a little bit, and you are blinded until the start of your next turn.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
So then that's going to go back up to this other guy. They're still not very smart. So he is going to run up to you. Even though you're blind, you do still get your halo of spores,
Sweet.
which he fails. And as he's running up to you, all you can do is hear this, but Cass and everyone else sees as he's making his way towards you, the spores kind of start interacting with the sludge, and he slows down and then falls to the ground and becomes just a puddle. Valerian, that is now your turn.
Hi. Going to move up. All right, I'm going to move up a little bit more closer to this guy and send my friendly little aviator to go pester him a little bit. I'm going to pop out of the from behind the bar, fire off a hand crossbow. Nat 20
Well, that hits.
for a 7 plus 6
29
is
total.
13. So 29.
How do you want to do that? Finish him?
Yeah, as he's like walking towards he's walking toward Luminora and Cass. Like he doesn't even know I'm there. And like maybe it was just the last second when like the sound from the mechanism goes off on my crossbow. kind of just does like a slight little glance around, um, and he just takes one right in the dome, and just like mud just gets splashed, or that sludge just gets like splashed everywhere. And
And yeah, as that happens, it almost is like a slow split all the way down the middle until it falls into two separate puddles.
that's disgusting.
All right. Now, we're not out of initiative yet, so I need everyone to give me a perception check. Valerian, you're going to have disadvantage.
No, that sucks.
Eight.
That's
Nat one,
Whoa.
even with Jay.
It's a distance thing more than anything.
Gotcha.
All right. So you don't really notice anything. If you want, you can examine the puddles. If you're close enough. So Luminora is no longer blinded. Also, Dave pointed out to me that in the future, if you're blinded, Halo Spores doesn't work. You need to have line of sight.
She just got very, very lucky.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to investigate the sludges, you can. But you kind of have to make up your decision as to what you want to do pretty quickly. Because we are still in initiative.
Is the bartender still here?
Take a look at this little sludge thing.
Yeah, give me an investigation check. The bartender's basically just like hiding, and a lot of the few patrons that were in there all ran into the back room, basically.
I would like to enter symbiotic entity.
Okay.
14.
With a 14, you notice that the sludge, it's no longer moving. You can see what would look like the remnants of bones kind of floating in the puddle. And the sludge very much, it looks similar to what you have in the vial.
Tevin, you said people who touch it would just turn black?
Um, some would. Some would just get really sick and then die. Yeah, I've never actually encountered one, but I've heard stories, and we at school we would have drills, to get away from windows and doors and try and get undercover if we heard that sloshing noise that we heard before they came in.
Great. Hope there's not any more of these things. Do we still hear that sloshing sound?
Give me one more perception check.
Because I am so good at those and rolling so well tonight. That is a 9. I have no bonus to perception.
You don't hear anything.
Also, while I'm hidden behind the bar there, I do just grab a bottle of alcohol and just take a decent swig.
Fair enough. The bartender looks at you like he's gonna yell at you, and then just remembers that you dropped that one guy. So he's like, I'll allow this.
Well, I'm also sticking around. We're inside, so it's not going to do much good, actually. Never mind.
All right.
Actually, just roll the bottle over to him, thinking he probably wants a drink too.
Oh, he definitely takes a swig. Luminora, give me one more perception check.
A 16? With
a 16, you do still kind of hear some of that sludging around sound. It sounds close to you, but before you can actually look where it is, you see another one coming in from that open door. So now we're back in initiative, and Luminora, I mean, you just gave a perception check. You went into your symbiotic entity, and that's where we left off in actual combat. So it is your turn.
Okay. Okay. I am going to move up to here. Sorry, trying to get to my spells slots. Gosh. Okay, I am going to Ice Knife the newbie here to the group at level 2.
You need to burn all the spell slots.
So a 14. 14 hits.
And then do I roll the extra 1d6?
Yep.
And that's a dex save
Mm-hmm.
against your spell DC. Rolled a 14. So then the
Takes half.
takes half. So half of 9, 5, so it takes 10 damage.
Takes 4. Takes 9.
You're on down.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, again, as you throw the ice knife, it hits. The sludge monster kind of is able to kind of like writhe and wiggle just a little bit as the ice knife explodes, so not as much of the shards hit it.
Mm-hmm.
But then that is Cass. That is your turn.
Somebody really needs to close this door. So, but I'm gonna use my action to dash and put myself in front of Luminora. So, pretty much guessing that I'm probably can take a hit better than she can.
Absolutely. So then that's going to go to Tevin, who is just going to kind of hang back a little bit. What is range? 60 feet. I don't think he can reach that. Nope. He's just going to ready Sacred Flame. So he's just starting to conjure it, having this glowing radiant flame in his hand, just ready if someone gets close enough. And then from the door that you guys entered in, you see this sludge kind of coming under the door, and then it starts to form back into another one of the large sludge monsters. From there, he is going to take a little bit of his movement, and then is going to throw a sludge ball. If he wasn't ready in action for that, like in that direction, would he still get to do it?
So you said he rated action if somebody got within range for Sacred Flame.
Fair. We'll cast that. It's a DC save, which he fails. So he takes 8 damage. The sludge monster, as he's forming and corporealizing, just gets hit with this radiant flame and takes 8 damage, kind of slowing it down as it's forming. And then as it does fully get into form, is going to throw a sludge ball at Luminora for 20. She stepped away.
20 hits.
20 hits, and then you take 5 bludgeoning damage, and you are blinded until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
And that goes back to the top for the smaller sludge monster, or it kind of like works his way over the puddled remains of one of them, but is still not within range to do anything. So it's just going to kind of put up its like sludgy fists and attack if someone gets within 5 feet. So then that is Valerian. That's your turn. And Schaloan, you're blind until the end of your next turn. Sorry, not the start.
Oh, the end. What is that like? What does that entail then? Can I like not do anything?
Any of your attacks and stuff will be at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay, can I do like well, I wouldn't be able to do like ranged like spells or anything, right?
You can do them, but anything that has an attack roll would be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop over the bar. Excuse me. Jad, you're just gonna fly down. Take a crossbow shot for 23 to hit
It does.
for a total of 9 damage.
And this one is, as you take the shot, it definitely hits its mark. It sinks in, but it doesn't seem to do quite as much damage as you had hoped.
Okay, still gonna take another one.
Mhm.
For another 23 to hit.
Yeah, 23 still hits.
For a supposed 7 damage.
All right. I mean, as both of these crossbolt arrows sink into the monster, like it definitely still hurts it, but the sludge just kind of like eats away at the arrow or the bolts, and then keeps going. So then that is Luminora. That is your turn.
Okay. I am going to chill touch this sludgy monster by the bigger dead monster.
Okay.
15 to hit
15 hits.
and 2 necrotic damage.
Perfect. Yeah, so as this ghostly necrotic hand just reaches out, it just manages to, hit it on its side. And as your chill touch makes contact with the sludge, you see the sludge start to boil a little bit and run, so it doesn't look as sticky. And then Cass, that is you.
Take a step up. And I'm going to smack this thing with my quarterstaff. That's some decent rolls for change. That is awful.
And 9 misses.
Yeah, my roll 20 does not like me tonight. Offhand, that is only a 10.
Also misses.
Yeah, my dice do not like me right now.
All right.
And that's it.
So then that's going to be Tevin, who is going to just run up a little bit, and then is going to use Sacred Flame again. The larger monster that's still kind of by the door fails, so takes 5 more points of damage, starting to look quite hurt. And then from there, that will be said mud monster's turn. Sludge monster, my bad. Is going to take a few steps towards Tevin. Can't quite get there, but is then going to throw a sludge ball at him. But only rolls a 6, so as his arm goes back and the sludge forms into, a mound where his hand should be, and flings it at Tevin, he's able to duck out of the way as the sludge hits the bar stool behind him. And that will be the one right next to Cass there, the smaller of the sludge monster that's still there, is going to throw some fisticuffs. 17 does not hit, if I remember.
Nope. And it should have gotten a free shot when I walked up because of its ready to action.
That's right. Still would have missed. So then that's back to Valerian. That is your turn.
Seeing this big, gooey sludge pile of shit walking towards my boy, going to gonna send my feathered friend ahead right before I start running towards him, and as I do, gonna try to slash him one with my, if I can pull it up, rapier, which would be a 20, nat 20.
I mean, nat 20. Yeah, that hits.
So 32.
I mean, even though arrows and swords don't do a whole lot against him, that's enough for you just to cut this thing down as you are slicing with your rapier. You know, the sludge arms are coming off and then turning into puddles as you just dice it up, just shink, 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 and then it falls into multiple small little puddles at your feet.
Nobody touches my tiefling boy. And then that's still yeah. I'm going to turn and try to send one towards the other sludgy monster. Where is it?
Oh, just shooting your crossbow at it?
Yeah, but that's only for 11.
An 11 hits. They really
Oh
don't
my
have
God.
armor. They're just sludge.
For 6.
For 6. All right.
Piercing.
This one you see as the arrow makes contact, it hits and sticks and just kind of like sinks in, but it definitely hurt it more than what it was doing against the big guy. And then Luminora, that is your turn.
I'm going to run up to the left side of Cass here, the other sludgy monster. I am going to use Halo of Spores.
Which he fails. Takes 4 damage.
And I am going to use my scimitar. 9 to hit.
A 9 misses.
Okay.
And then Cass, that is to you.
I'm going to walk around to the other side so we can get some flanking going. And hopefully maybe I can actually roll something decent. So quarterstaff. That's a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Thank goodness for flanking.
Yeah, roll for
That
damage.
is 9 bludgeoning.
9, that's enough to do it. How do you want to finish this final monster?
Finish him.
I kind of just reach down and low and just come clean up and kind of just like try to bisect it and splash it away from Luminara.
It definitely does. It splatters off to the side. And yeah, you're just left in this tavern. You know, the bartender is still hiding behind the bar. You hear hushed voices from up the stairs into the back room where the other people that were there eating and drinking ran when the first wave, I guess, of these sludge monsters came in. And as you're standing there, you just hear from across the room Tevin be like, what the f-? And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Oh.
Well then.
I apologize. I had some snafus in there of not keeping my monsters' immunities and abilities and stuff like that straight. But yeah. Any comments from you guys before we fully close this one out?
Do they not like necrotic damage?
Well, I mean, some of them were just had resistance to non-magical stuff. But yeah. Well, if our listeners like this and would like to support us, please go to our Buy Me a Coffee, which is at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. When you subscribe, let us know over there that it was this podcast that sent you there. You get some member exclusive merch, depending on the level that you give at, as well as behind the scenes, bonus material, stuff like that. It's pretty rad, if I do say so myself. Also, like, share, and subscribe to this show wherever you get your podcast to stay up to date on episodes, upcoming news and announcements. Do any of you guys have anything that you want to plug or share? Anything that you've been enjoying watching or reading about or anything like that?
I haven't checked out anything really new lately. We're kind of rewatching some stuff right now. But like I said, you guys want to see my Twitter? It's at nutcase168. Usually tweeting about D&D and other similar stuff.
Anyone else have anything to plug?
Non-D&D related. Check out Throne of Glass. It's the book series I'm reading right now, and it is hella good.
Right on. Dysland, you got anything? Oh, Steven Dysland, you got anything?
Which one? Not really. Just yeah. Please go like, and if you want to subscribe, or at least leave a nice comment. I love reading them, and if I see something nice on there, I'll be sure to shout you out.
It makes us feel good and stuff. Also, if you like other nerdy shit that's not just D&D related, check out the All Things Nerd podcast. It's a weekly dive into all things nerd, from comic books, movies, TV, things like that. We think we're funny. But yeah, unless there's anything else that you guys want to add, we can say goodbye and good night from the Kobolds in the Basement.
Catch y'all later.
See ya.
Bye now.